Sebastian Hale's office was quietly humming with the soft hiss of air conditioning, the distant footfalls on marble corridors, and the muted beeping of digital devices. The walls, floor-to-ceiling windows, and polished surfaces all reflected the late afternoon sunlight that slanted in from the west, making the room glow with golden edges. From this height, the city looked like a miniature diorama, cars inching along avenues, people crossing at traffic lights like pieces on a board, all moving with the mechanical certainty of routine. Sebastian, usually unmoved by the world's small details, found his gaze drawn more than once to the view, as though seeking in silence something he couldn't yet name. At 41, Sebastian Hale had learned to wear control like a second skin. As CEO of Hale Enterprises, he'd built his name on precision, on being the man who saw what others did not, who moved strategically, who made decisions swiftly and stood behind them with unshakable conviction. His office was a space meant to reflect that: deep mahogany furniture, minimalist modern art, shelves of awards, international law books, quarterly reports in neat stacks. Phone lines. Confidential files. Clients' portfolios. Everything in neat rows. Everything within reach. Everything under lock and key. Yet at this moment, seated behind his desk, legs crossed, hands folded, reading glasses lowered, he was not thinking about mergers, earnings, or forecasts. He was listening for the footsteps he knew by memory. Soft patters, light yet certain. The click of his daughter's shoes, probably, or maybe the gentle rustle of her dress. He opened a drawer, found a paper clip, pressed it between his fingers, an old habit, soothing. He looked up, irritated at first, thinking it was an assistant entering. Then he saw her. "Daddy," the voice rang out, bright as a spring bell, cutting through the muffled corporate quiet. It startled him. Not with alarm, but with something gentler, like a favorite melody returning after years. He looked up slowly. There at the doorway stood Lila, his daughter, 6 years old, small and earnest, clutching a crayon-scrawled folder of drawings in one hand, the other hand tugging at her pigtails, which bobbed unevenly, one side a little lower than the other. Her cheeks were rosy from the walk, or perhaps from excitement. There was a smudge of glitter near her temple, a drop of pink from her art class on her sleeve. She wore a dress that was faded at the hem, and sneakers, slightly scuffed. He set aside the financial report he had been reading, the one projecting next quarter's profit margins were ahead by 3%, and said, "Pumpkin, what are you doing in here?" softening his voice, letting the steel in it slip. "Miss Clara was supposed to pick you up after art, yes?" Lila stepped forward, her shoes making a soft thump on the thick carpet. She perched on the edge of one of the chairs intended for visitors, small chairs, too big for her, legs dangling, and